So guys, in this video we are going to see what is service. Okay, so in very complex applications we have the three different layers called controller, service, repository. Okay, so we can say model and all actually. Okay, so mainly controller is specifically for to process the request from the front end, and whatever the request is processed in the controller, then it goes to the service layer. Okay, from the service layer it will validate the data and all these things. Sometimes this validation will happen on controller itself. Again, if you want to have one more validation and all, then we can do it in service as well. Then it goes to the database. Okay, service is mainly bridge between our controller and then database. Okay, apart from this, if we want to have business logic, that is also can be added in the service itself. Okay, so now if you see our we have implemented the login previously. So in this login I just hard coded the username and password, and I have implemented the logic in the controller itself, but actual the implementation should be in the service only. Okay, so for this thing I am already having in this project, I am already having a service package here. So inside the package I am creating a new service called user service. Okay, it is your wish, you can create anything, but general rule is service file always ends with service actually. Okay, again it is not like Java anything, it's like a generally in most of the technical projects everything has to be service, means it ends with service. Okay, then we used to mention the annotation called service. For the controller we need to use controller or risk controller, but when it comes to service we need to use a service actually. Okay, so now I am going to copy paste the entire method from here to in the service method. Okay, I need to again still I need to change it. This response entity will not be useful in the service. Here we should use I think boolean is fine. Okay, so as per this logic, and we don't need this response and all these things because this will be handled by the controller itself. Okay, so from this method I am returning a true or false. If the request is properly matched with this condition, as we know the condition, right? I think this condition already we know. If the email is tested gmail.com and the password is also test, we will return the return true, and otherwise we will return false. Okay, this is the logic which we have implemented in the service layer. Okay, so now this logic will be called in the login controller. So which means now let me comment this one, and here I can okay, but before that, yeah, only one scenario, we cannot directly call the service in our controller, we need to inject it. So in order to inject this service we need to use this auto wire, and we need to use this user service. Okay, so here I need to use the user service, and this one I can mention the user service dot login validate, and I can go for the login request. Okay, so this will help us to process a login request in our application, and this will pass to the service layer. Okay, so now here I can have the boolean status. Okay, status, fine. So now in this status I can mention if status is this one, I can say, I think this is existing logic, right? This same this will help us to do all these things. So if the response becomes true, then we will get this response. If the response becomes false, we will get this one. Okay, so I will remove this existing logic. Now this is like a simple logic which we have implemented in the service. So like this we can implement the bigger logic in the service also, and the logic we can able to use it in our controller. So here this will help us to inject the service into our controller, and using this object we can directly call our service actually. Okay, that's it. This is how we can able to implement the service. In upcoming videos we will see how to use this service efficiently and how we can use other logics into